Hi, welcome back to Lakeside Quilt Making Arts. I am so glad you came by. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in to my channel to see my little world. This is a blog type channel. It's a learn with me type of concept. I am a quilter. I'm not quite a novice, but I'm really very far from being well experienced as well. So there's lots to learn. Every once in a while, I might have something of benefit to you because I am trying to curate from a lot of different people. So stick around. Maybe we can learn something together. And if not, maybe you're the one that teaches me something. Please contribute to the comments down below and we can help each other out there. If you leave comments below and we can have a conversation back and forth, then maybe it benefits somebody else additionally, besides just you and I. So this is Thursday, and that means we are doing my Thursday therapy day, which for me is my pet projects. This is a Mars quilt that I've been working on since September, off and on, and pretty consistently weekly since the 1st of January. It's going to be a circle quilt, which is what I'm in the middle of working on now. Want to say that we will make great headway today. That was my plans when I went to bed last night. But I had to do some mold mitigation today, and that took up some time. So we're not going to get as far as I had hoped, but we're going to make some progress because I want to see this quilt get in the hands of my great nephew, little 8-year-old Liam. He is anxious for this. He thinks I'm just blowing smoke about there being a quilt for him. Can't let that be the case. So what are we going to do? Let me show you. By the way, this is an electrolyte drink from LMNT. If you're somebody who likes your electrolytes, this is hot chocolate electrolytes from LMNT. It is the best pick-me-up. Forget about caffeine, which I can't do in the afternoon anyway, but this is so good. So let me have a sip of this and I'll show you what we're going to do. I think it's going to be helpful if, since the design board's not quite tall enough, if I just put a little bit of tape on that top piece of fabric so we can see it. Right now it's falling behind the design board, so you can't really appreciate all of the colors and the heights above the yellow, how much of the Mars crust is above the yellow. Okay, so I'm going to use my stick to point. That way I don't have to put my back to you. All right. This is as high. I like that brown around the exterior of the border. I don't know why. I do. It's there, so let's just use it. And so if we go up from the center point, which is right here, see if you can see that. Maybe I'll put a piece of tape right there too, so you can have a good visual. I love, of course, this is not cooperating really well, but I love painter's tape. I use it, as you've seen, on my sewing machine, and I use it when I'm marking my quilt lines, and it doesn't leave any kind of residue behind. Goes on easy. I don't know about affordability. There might be cheaper options, but I have this. I like it, and that's what I'm using. Okay, so that is my middle of the quilt, vertically and horizontally. And I believe I just measured it was 31.5. Let me see. Oh, no. So right there, the top of that blue, that's 36, all the way up there. So what I need, and I'm going to work on just the right-hand side of this quilt, and then I'll come back around to the left-hand side. But I need to fill in, see where the stick exceeds the crust line? I need to pull it back down at the bottom. I need to fill in up there, all the way around, so that the crust will reach the top of where the stick is. So that means I need to build crust that goes here. That's not hard. That's not hard. It's remarkably tedious, in my opinion. And the first thing I have to do is clean up my table that you're sitting on. It still has residue of the activity yesterday from finishing the comfort in the waiting quilt. Got that finished up yesterday. My day ran long, so I did not get my table cleaned up. So I'll get my table cleaned up, and I'll pull out all of my fabrics for the crust. and then I'll start crumb piecing. And I won't make you watch all that. I'll show you the results as it comes along. Nobody's got a lot of time for that. I could talk to you all day long while I do it, but I know your time is precious, so we won't do that to you. All right, let's get going. All right, I thought about it a little bit, and I've taken the last hour since I talked to you last to try to get my energy up to work on this quilt today. And I decided I'm going to choose and exhibit to you all healthy choices. I'm not going to push it. I'm going to do something, and then if I feel better, then I'll do something else. But it's taken me the past hour, whatever I just said, hour and a half, to recuperate my energy to the point where I can attempt to do anything. I cleaned off my table. I'll show you that. And I've pulled out my fabric for the CRUST, so that's another yay. If I don't get anything else done today, at least I'm set up for success for tomorrow. But I think I can actually do a little bit. So I've identified a section that I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. See if I can do this over my, I can't do it over my shoulder. So from here to here, I'm going to add fabric so that I can bump it out. I think it was 3 inches. So it was a maximum of 3 inches. It's only 2 inches at some points that I'll need. But if I do a strip that's 11.5 inches by 3 inches, then I will have, add that onto that section, then I'll have enough fabric there so that whenever I make my arc, there'll be enough crust there. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is kind of my PSA to anybody else out there who pushes themselves too hard. Sometimes just listen to your body. If you didn't sleep well, or you're sick, or whatever it is, sometimes you just got to listen to your body. I've become really good at that. I've had to. Like I said in my introductory video, I'm chronically ill. So I have a lot of ups and downs. So I know that if I don't listen to my body, it will fight me. So I'm going to listen to it and not do anything today that I don't feel like I can do. So I'm taking this one section now, and I'm going to do that, and I'll show you what that looks like. If I have anything left in me, we'll do something else. Otherwise, I will feel good that I got my table cleaned up, got my fabrics pulled out, got my other projects put away, and I'm set up for success for tomorrow. So here we go. I hope my mic works out in this video. The other times I've used it, we've had some static, scratchy noises. And I don't know if it's because I don't know how to use it, if it's because I'm accidentally touching it, if I'm making movements that's scraping against the mic. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad mic. But we're going to give it a go again, because I do know that the audio needs to be improved in my videos. I'm just not there yet on all the ins and outs of all these details. So my time was not completely wasted while I was resting my body, trying to get the energy to muster up the energy to tackle this section on this quilt. I also I sat in my chair and I spent time on my phone looking at Walmart and Amazon, looking for plastic boxes, some kind of substitute for the art bins storage system that everybody uses, because those things are nice, really nice. I could use about 100 of those, but they're expensive. So I won't be getting one of those anytime soon because I have to buy storage, in here yet. And I did find some things that I thought might do that are like $4 and $5 that are clearly not an equivalent to the art bin super satchel, but it might do just fine. Get me 3 or 4 of those, and I'll probably be just fine for a little while. The other thing I was looking at was a chair. I really need to get a chair on wheels, especially yesterday when I noticed this chair that I've been using is throwing bolts on the floor. Last thing I need to do is sit on a chair and it collapse. Not with my spine issues. That would not be good. That would not be good. So I need to look up chairs. I found one at Walmart, just a basic, simple chair. So what I've done is I've kind of analyzed the sewing chairs that everybody uses to figure out why they're so dang expensive, what makes them good, and thinking, okay, what can I find as as equivalent to that as cheaply as possible. And the biggest factor that I see is it's sturdy and it's a flat seat. They're wide seats typically, and they're flat. So you don't have a lot of seats, unfortunately, are concave, so that puts pressure on your hips, which is I don't know why anybody does that. It's not wise. Or they put a slope on the front, so you're always having to kind of protect yourself from falling off the dang thing. I'm sensitive to all these little details. I know I'm probably overthinking it, but I just want to let you know I was thinking about those things and trying to figure out what my next move is there. So it wasn't like I was not in the game. My body was just resting. Okay, let's get to it. This is beginning to sound like a Tuesday tech talk instead of a Thursday therapy. All right, we have a small section, 11 and a half. Let's go ahead and call it 12 inches by 3 inches. And just so you guys know, I have not been worrying about biases or anything like that because all of this is crumb quilting. And if I were to worry about biases too, yeesh, boy, that wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't make it anywhere. Okay, I do have some small sections here. I wonder if any of these might be. Look at that. Wonder how big that is. Okay, full length is 12, but it narrows down. Can you see that? Narrows down to a point. Wonder if it would work. Where's my stick? No, I need a full. I could add to it though. It's a starter point. That's good to know, right? But there is another one here. Let's see what that might look like. Don't know. You probably can't see from there, but that would put matching fabrics together, which is not bad, especially small sections of it. It could work. That would make my day a lot easier now, wouldn't it? But there's something about it that I don't like. I think what's bothering me is that I feel like it would be a waste of this. This is already put together in this shape. Surely it's going to be more useful somewhere else. Like there. I wonder how far out here I need to come. Yeah, see, that's going to help me there. It'll help me right there. So I'm going to leave that for there. Leave that setting right there. Man, when it comes time to put all this together, whoo, boy, that's going to be fun. Okay, here's another little section. That could go there. Don't think I have to go that far out though, do I? Now, again, it would be a waste of that one. This area needs a lot, so maybe it would go there. I'm going to move my moda. For right now, we will just plop it over here. Don't want it getting messed up. Yeah, that's a good starter to fill in that section. All right. So, of the existing little blocks that I have, none of them work well for that. That's fine. I want to try to give you a close-up of what I was just doing. I put pins in at the end of where the yardstick ended, so they're in an arc. It was hard to visualize when I took the stick away just how much I needed to fill in, so that's just helps me to mark especially like right here, right there. You would think that from that upper pin, it would have a sharper point headed down south, but no, it actually goes out, that far out. For all of you people out there who might have low blood pressure, you want me to tell you something that'll raise it up for you? See this red fabric that I've got all in that crust? Not been pre-washed. I don't know what I was thinking. But since I'm going to have to very gently wash this thing anyway, I'm just going to carry on. Maybe a major fail. Everything may turn red. I don't know. I'm going to put a lot of color catchers in when I wash this thing and pray. I'm living dangerously, aren't I? Okay, I'm going to get to cutting and creating a small strip and then see where we are. So I know that crumb quilting is not something that you can like get a pattern for unless you get a paper piecing pattern. I guess that would work. But it's something that's so organic, and at least the way I'm doing it. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm doing in case in one you have better ideas. Because again, I'm a newbie, not quite a fresh newborn, but I'm still a newbie at all these things. So I'll show you what I'm doing and we'll take it from there. Okay, so this little section right here is what I already had put together. We played with that a little bit earlier in the video. So I saw that there was a straight line, so I added a piece along this length. And then I took my ruler to it again to cut this direction so I could have a straight edge. So some of what I had put on there just came off immediately. And that gave me a straight edge to put this piece on. And then I cut that. It looked like this, I think. How did it look? No, it looked like that. So I cut that off so I had another straight edge. And then I'm thinking, okay, I know I kind of like this to be my very outside perimeter. Again, because we've got some of this as the perimeter elsewhere on the border. So I might just stick with that. So that means I need to fill in this side. Well, I'm going to have to put a piece on here, but it's only going to go so far unless I add to this. So I'm going to take this cut off, put it here, and let it be what extends this section here. And that gives me all the way, that will give me, when I come back here and cut it, that will give me a straight line that goes all the way to here. And if I make this big enough so that whenever I'm done, I can come back and cut from here all the way down, that would give me another straight edge. Or if I make it even bigger, then I can cut like that on it. So because I don't like how this looks like just a box. I kind of like for that to go away. There's all kinds of ways to do that. I could add another piece that's right here on the diagonal or add a piece here. There's different ways of managing that. But right now, next step is just to add that on there. One step at a time. This is definitely just a slow, tedious process. And just for the record, when I'm doing this, I am not also doing my leader enders. Just number one, I know I'm not doing a whole lot today, so I don't need anything to slow it down. I need to make sure I conserve my energy since I'm low on it so I can feel decent tomorrow. And oh, and for the record, I've not had any turn for the worse or anything like that. I just didn't sleep well last night at all. And I think it's because of mold. So I went looking for mold and did find some. I kind of suspected that there was a leak going on in the bathroom, and there was some mold. And I'm super sensitive to it. And so I just didn't sleep good. I had a headache, and so I just didn't feel well. So nothing bad has happened. I have snooped out mold and I've killed it, and I'm feeling better. My house is open. I've got doors open without it costing me a fortune. My heat is not even turning on, which is fabulous. Love living in North Alabama whenever the weather is cooperating. Okay, let's go sew this. Okay, now we can cut a piece. I'll cut this off. I'll put my ruler against that inset of that seam there, make a straight edge, and then keep on adding to it. This is all I have left of this fabric, and I want to make sure it's evenly dispersed around the crust. And since I don't have any crust on the bottom yet, and I have some of this in this section, I am going to decline using it on this piece. I'd love to find more because it works out great, I think, as a bit of Mars. I bet the designer of that fabric did not know it would be Mars fabric. I need more red. When I'm on travel next week, I may go look at some quilt stores in Charleston, South Carolina. That would be fun. This is not ironed yet, so it may pop up a little bit, but I just wanted you to get a feel for what I've done here. So I cut a piece that was 3.5 inches. Just took my ruler. Don't know if I did 3.5 or 3. What did I do? I must have just done 3. Okay, so, and I just put it the whole width of that length. I just put it down, sewed it down the whole length of that straight line that was there. Trying to pop up right there. You can see there's several seams coming together here, so it definitely needs to be pressed well. Anyway, so what does this give me, right? It gives me way too much because I don't need but something 11.5 by 3. But what it provides is if I follow this edge right through here, then I've got width to do that, and then I have a cutoff that I can use elsewhere. But again, I don't want to maintain this block of gray, so let me get a longer ruler now. I don't think I need my tape on here anymore. I had that when I was cutting for the motor block. Okay, so if I take, let's see what you can see. What I might want to do is make a cut like that. Then this is no longer a square. It is a, what would you call that? There's another name for that. Like a wedge shape. I can't think of what it's called. I think that's the direction I'll go. I don't want to do it real sharp. I don't think. I think this is fine. That's just a slow angle there. Cut that, and then I'm going to go over and iron it. Well, I'm going to cut more fabric to add to it. See, now look at that straight line. Got a nice straight line there. I may keep that and start adding over here now, which again, see, if I add here, then I need to first build this up. All right, you probably can't even tell it from there because I've already got it in place. I just wanted to test it out to see if I'm headed in the right direction, and I am. It exceeds the length I need. This is all the length that I needed to accomplish. And it goes as high as I need it to. So here are my pins marking the highest point, the longest point that I need to hit. So next, I need to fill in this area with a wedge, and then I'll move on down to this section. So as straightforward as this little piece was, I'm going to stick to my guns and call it a day and start afresh tomorrow. I'm going to make sure I don't overdo it today so I can get all the sleep I need tonight and feel good tomorrow. So I can come in here and have more energy and do a better job tomorrow. That's me trying to make some wise decisions and sharing publicly for that purpose. We don't always have to be competitive. We don't always have to be rush, 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 rush. Sometimes we just give it a little bit. I used to call that a lick and a promise. That's kind of what this is. I did something, so I didn't feel like a failure today, and I did not overdo it, but I don't want to risk overdoing it. I don't want to get to the point where I am making mistakes because I'm tired, because I don't want to undo anything. It's hard to make too many mistakes with the crumb piecing, though. Do you hear my dog? Did you hear me tell you earlier that all the doors were open and I have fans on, ventilating the place, and she's still coming to me, asking me to let her go outside? Oh boy. So with that, we're going to call this video done. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate you being here. And for those, all you new subscribers, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. When you're first beginning, you're just kind of spinning your wheels and you're hoping that this is something that matters to somebody. And I really appreciate that encouragement. It does mean a lot. So have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.